moment that you lift off into space, first thing that everyone wants to do is go to the windows and look. What you see is the most beautiful thing. We are charged to look at the big picture.
Countries are looking to reduce their CO2 emissions. We believe hydrogen and fuel cells can play a key role.
This is just one more step in the evolution of who we are as a company and what the world demands from its power needs.
A whole universe of possibilities that come along with hydrogen.
Welcome to the 2020 Advanced Clean Transportation Solutions Conference. My name's Amy Davis, and I'm really excited to be here with you virtually, kicking off the conference, and talking to you about advanced transportation solutions that are clean. You probably know Cummins a little bit, I hope so anyway. We've been serving the industry with diesel engines for over 100 years and working with you, learning your duty cycles and knowing power solutions that work for fleets. I'm going to take just a second anyway to tell you a little bit more about our company. We were founded in 1919 as Cummins Engine Company. It was actually Cummins Engine Company up into almost 2000. Today we are a global power leader with more than 60,000 employees. We design, manufacture, distribute, and service diesel and natural gas engines, but we also do more around the powertrain. We do filtration solutions, after treatment, turbocharges loosely into the market. We do power generation systems, and now we're doing battery and electrified power solutions and new fuel cells and electrolyzers. We have a vast distribution network, which I hope you know well, with over 600 wholly owned and independent distributor locations and over 7,600 dealer locations in more than 190 countries around the world. Like the name of this event, Advanced Clean Transportation, we are committed to innovation and advancing technology to power a more prosperous world. Last year, we invested $1 billion in research and development in future critical technologies and products. Core to our values is making everything we do lead to a cleaner environment. And we want to be a big part of creating solutions for you and contributing to a greener place. You probably know our B-Series diesel engine. It powers the Chrysler truck. It powers medium-duty trucks here in North America. It powers heavy-duty trucks in India and China. You probably know our ISX. Hopefully you know our natural gas engines. What you may not have known is the work that Cummins has done putting together a whole portfolio of clean energy solutions. We did it with diesel-powered hybrid powertrains. Then we went on and invested in battery capabilities, so we have battery electric powertrains, and now we're investing in fuel cell electric powertrains, which you'll see coming, and we have even 2,000 out in different applications around the world. The topic of my speech is exploring solutions in medium-duty and heavy-duty transportation. I'm excited to be a part of these solutions, and I hope you are too. I recently read that the transportation industry in the U.S. contributes 28% of the U.S. greenhouse gases. That's a significant role we play, and we have a big responsibility to help charting this path forward, and I hope to work it with you. You can't pick up a newspaper today or look at one virtually that doesn't talk about clean energy solutions and the mandates or the aspirational goals coming out by various players in the markets to achieve zero emissions. For our industry, it's going to take an entire ecosystem to play out before this becomes really viable for us and our customers. But I'm not sure the mandates are going to wait. So I want us to participate, and I want you to participate together with Cummins and your OEMs. I think it's going to be important to help further the ecosystem so that we're ready and we don't hit a cliff event. I think about three really key areas of the ecosystem that we can play a part in. The first is having the technologies available and scaled. This is important to make sure that you have reliable and durable solutions that are at a reasonable cost. The second one that I'm going to talk more about is infrastructure. We're going to need an infrastructure available to support the line hauls and the longer routes that we have and the customers and the weights and the payloads that our customers need. And finally, the governments are going to play a role. And I've talked a lot about that already, whether it comes in the form of mandates or incentives, both are going to play a role. And I worry mandates might come before we're actually ready. So that's why I'm going to talk a lot about participating and working with you to chart a road to zero emissions in your fleet so that you're ready for it, you plan for it, and we pave it out together. Cummins has been working hard at making sure technology is available and scaled. We've been investing for more than a decade in battery electric and fuel cell solutions, and we've recently acquired some companies that round out our portfolio and give us some excellent technologies. And we see others entering the market as well, really sparking innovation, and we're advancing these technologies fast. The real key to understanding how they're going to perform is getting them out in the field, and that's where you can help participate. At Cummins, we've introduced complete electrified powertrain solutions in 6 markets across 7 applications: the transit bus, school bus, light-duty walk-in van, medium and heavy-duty trucks, mini excavator, and terminal tractors. And we have more than 2,000 fuel cell installations across a variety of on and off highway applications. Cummins fuel cells are powering the world's first hydrogen fuel cell passenger trains in France. Now, why does that matter? Again, learning how these technologies perform in all of these applications is going to advance the technology and enable it to scale, meaning more fuel cells out there, more manufacturing capacity, and lower costs. Cummins provides power to the largest hydrogen-powered bus fleet in the world, which was deployed in China. And in partnership with leading European truck manufacturers and system integrators, Cummins supplied fuel cells for Fawn, who's a leader in waste collection vehicles and sweepers in Europe for their electric refuse truck program. Each truck has a range up to 560 kilometers, which is enough to run the collection route multiple times, carrying 10 tons of waste. And that's just technology that's there now. Like I said, the more we get it out there and in applications, we learn and we advance it faster. And you can help by partnering with us. Now let's talk about the next key component of the ecosystem, which is infrastructure. We all know that our trucks reach every remote part of the country, and we need to have infrastructure to support it. Let's talk about hydrogen for a second. This is a place where Cummins is playing a key role in infrastructure development. I'm sure you're reading a lot about hydrogen right now. That's a big hype. Hydrogen is becoming more broadly available in a green form, which means it's not generated from coal, it's generated from other green sources, like perhaps solar power or other kinds of green energy power. We have a product called electrolyzer, which performs electrolysis using clean energy and making hydrogen from water. And we can do this in many different footprints. And what we're seeing is all different kinds of players are investing to make this technology available. Sure, some utilities are looking at doing it broadly and distributing it. We're also talking to oil companies and others who are looking at putting fueling stations and other things in place, leveraging electrolyzer technology. But also fleets can do it. And mines, we're talking to other companies and end users who are thinking, why wait? I can invest in this technology right at one of my hubs and put a fueling station in, leveraging my perhaps already solar powered headquarters or other things. So there's a lot of ways that the infrastructure is going to be built out in the hydrogen space. We have products to play a role, and you ought to think creatively about how you're going to do it for your fleet and not wait for the government or the utilities to make those decisions and put the structure in place for us. We are in the final stages of commissioning the largest PEM electrolysis plant in the world in Bécancour, Canada, for Air Liquide. The 20 megawatt facility will have an annual hydrogen output of approximately 3,000 tons. The electrolyzer will use surplus renewable hydroelectricity to generate decarbonized or green hydrogen. The facility is planned to be operational in the fall of 2020. And we will provide a 5 megawatt PEM electrolyzer to enable renewable energy for the Douglas County Public Utility District in Washington State in 2021. The Cummins electrolyzer will be dedicated to producing hydrogen from renewable energy and will be the largest as well as first of its kind in use by a public utility in the United States. So it's happening. The investments are coming. We're seeing people make commitments, and I'm pretty excited about it. The final piece of the ecosystem that I talked about is the government. We know the government's going to play a role, whether it's in some combination of incentives and mandates. So what I just want to leave with you is to participate, to play a part, have a voice in what the government's doing, start investing in the technology so we can advance it for your use, for your duty cycles, and start to get it to scale. And think about the infrastructure and what it might mean for your company, your fleets, and your customers where you need to have the right availability of energy. That way we'll be ready for whatever's in front of us. Today, we're clearly in challenging times. I know I never anticipated that I'd be working from home for 6 months, that our factories would shut down and be back up and running, and the global economy would go into a crisis. But there's opportunity that I see as well. We're seeing investments happening in incentive packages of over $1 trillion plus in some economies. A lot of that money is being geared towards clean energy solutions and helping our economy go quicker to lower emissions and a lower carbon footprint. We can play a key role in this. As I think I've tried to tell you, we need to play a key role in this, and I'm excited to do so. Although fuel cells and battery in the electric drivetrains might feel intimidating, I know you read a lot about it, and it's hard to understand how it fits and where you need to invest and what you need to do. I don't really look at the technologies as competing, and I don't think we should be afraid of it. We've been in diesel hybrid electric vehicles for a long time. You probably have some even in your fleets. And so the difference is now putting a battery to drive the electric drivetrain or a fuel cell. A lot of the componentry can be the same, and we can learn from it and advance it quickly. I encourage you, as I've said, to participate in this road to zero emissions. Get some product in your fleet and work with your OEM partners and Cummins to define what that looks like, to think about your infrastructure and be ready for what's going to come upon us probably quicker than we thought. I'm super grateful to have had this time with you today and look forward to finding a way for Cummins to help you chart that path. Thanks so much.